Hello, my name is Nissy Tee and welcome to the very first edition of Watchman News Extra. So obviously you see me in my normal formal setting, but this time round we're going for something a little bit more informal where I'll be coming and reading some of your comments. Now, I am super excited to be doing this because I know week in, week out, I'm always telling you, go for the comments, give us your comments, let us know your thoughts. And now we actually have a complete segment completely dedicated to just reading through your comments. So whatever it is that you need to grab a drink, grab a snack, and get ready so we can dive straight in. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go into the video that we recently did. So this was the sit down where I basically sat down with Tomi, Mr. Tomi around me, prophet of the nations, man of God. And we were basically talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. So you must know this one, okay? The title is Using the Hashtag Black Lives Matter is Witchcraft. And we have undeniable proof. By the way, I don't choose the titles, okay? Before anyone tries to come for me for the titles, I don't choose them, just saying. And this one, we were basically talking about Black Lives Matter, the founders, all of that good stuff. If you haven't watched it, please go and check it out. Now, this one was, I would definitely say, a difficult conversation for us to have because, as you know, I've been someone that has been writing for Black Lives Matter. I'm still very much a believer that there's a lot happening, not even just in America, but just across the world in general, to do with race and justice and things that need to change in this world. You know, I'm completely against racism, we all are. But there are certain things that have been coming up from the woodwork that is a little bit scary. Now, the very first comment that I saw, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wanted to start with this just because it made me really happy. And this one is by Brianna White from a week ago. He said, Nissy has been graced with an exceptional beauty. I'm sorry, I just wanted to come to that one first because I know my face is gorgeous. What can I say? Thank my parents. But no, I just wanted to start off with that one. But then I saw another comment. Let's scroll through. Someone else said, Elise Santarelli said, so everyone who donated to BLM has sowed into satanic works. Yikes. Also, respectfully, what's with English people trashing America's long, painful history of racism? It seems like a bit of pointing out a speck in your brother's eye while there's a log in your own. Okay, so let me try and break this down and understand. First things first, yes, basically, we were sowing into satanic works. Now, I'm gonna put my hand up and admit to you all that I have also sown into this. I gave to the Black Lives Matter movement. This was pre me knowing all of the information that we know now. But yeah, definitely a questionable donation now. And also, didn't someone, I was having this conversation the other day, but where has all the money gone from the Black Lives Matter movement for the UK? Answer me that. But anyway, what is it with English people trashing America's long, painful history of racism? Now, I'm assuming that you talking about the speck in your brother's eye is you basically saying that we also in the UK have a long standing and what you call a painful history of racism here. Now, the only reason that I have to kind of contradict that or come against that is only because I think America's history is very unique and it's completely different to the UK. The UK, a lot of us, and I'm sure, you know, people will agree with me in saying this, or maybe they won't, but who cares? The UK has, you know, a number of black people or people who come from African or Caribbean backgrounds who normally can trace back the generation. So for example, I'm first generation here. Both my parents were from Congo, first generation. Whereas in America, they don't have that. They can't look back a couple of generations and be like, oh yeah, my mum's mum or my mum is from this place and so this is where I'm from. That has literally been ripped apart and ripped away from them. So there's a completely different history over there, okay? Right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, this one seems juicy, okay? All right, this is a bit of a long one, so brace yourself. So Dar said, I used to be involved with black magic years ago. 2 demons were in me. I prayed to God and he spoke in thundering voice, telling me to fear no evil, and the demons leaped out from me. Weeks later, I still carried on being stupid and quickly wanted to forget what I had heard. But with a friend, we summoned up a group of demons. We saw them. Again, I prayed to God and they disappeared. I moved house after that experience as it was horrendous. So I was alone one night on my own and I cried out to God for help, and he showed me an open vision which changed my life from the occult to Jesus Christ. I wish that I had never seen the dark side. It is very real and I'm glad I know the truth. Jesus saves from hell. Jesus is the only way. I pray and hope people on here step on the right path and choose the light. Jesus is that blinding light. Demons don't look pretty. Black hooded shadows, heed the warning. Wow. I don't even know what to even say about that. And then I just looked at the replies and someone by the name of Sonia Brown said, nothing wrong with invoking ancestors. Okay, I'm going to go into the next one because, but no, in all seriousness, thank you so much for sharing your experience, by the way. That's definitely scary. But this whole ancestors thing, listen, if it ain't God, if it ain't Jesus, forget about it. I'm not even gonna just forget about it. Okay, next comment. Let's have a look. Possibly there. Oh, this is a good comment. Let's discuss this. So Relentlessly Seeking says, I feel like possibly the Black Lives Matter movement was formed in the gap of lack of response by the church. It should have been the church rising up to speak up for injustice. And because we did not, the gap may have been filled to be what it currently is. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Some people might not agree with me, but I kept having these discussions when we were in the office. I remember, I said this, right? Prophet, I said this. Yeah. Sorry, he's like here as well. This is extra, so it's fine, it's candid. Yeah. But did I not every time I kept saying that, then the church shouldn't just refute this. We should do something about it. There should be someone that, there's no point us just talking about how bad it is. I said that, right? You said that. Thank you very much. I said that a number of times because my thing is that today's age is a bit different to maybe the past. Young people don't just like the idea of just speaking stuff anymore. People are sick and tired of, saying all the nice things and saying all the pleasantries and whatnot. People want to see action. They want to see change. They want to see things actually happening. And so my kind of thought was the reason why so many young people and so many Christians have rallied behind Black Lives Matter is because people feel as though they don't just want to be inactive anymore. They want to make sure that, they are part of something that's actually doing something about the issues that we have. And like I said at the beginning, we still definitely have an issue with racism, injustice, all of these different things. So it definitely 1000% should have been the church that stood up behind it. So I agree with you. Okay, I definitely agree. Shout out to you. I'm going to go through a couple more. Let's see. So I'm reading some of them so I can see which ones are actually interesting. Oh, someone else. It seems like there's a few people who have actually been involved in kind of like that new age spiritualism and all that kind of stuff, because Call Me Prosper also said, I was also trapped in new age and African spirituality at one point. They tend to teach people that Jesus is or was white and therefore he didn't die for black people. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. I just thank the Lord for getting me out of that. We need to pray for our brothers and sisters to also see the truth. Jesus died for all people. Jesus is the answer for us all. Praise Jesus. That's really, really interesting. I never knew that that's what kind of like the focus is on. I didn't know that that's what the onus is on, that, Jesus essentially didn't die for, the white version of Jesus didn't die for black people. And that's why, we should go back to our ancestors. We should go back to our roots. We should go back to what was really ours. That's very, very interesting. All right, I'll give you guys a couple more. Okay, Rosetta Williams says, church folk are too ready to fall headfirst into any agenda that's being pushed. They don't stand back and first assess and discern the issues at hand and cry to God to come to the rescue. They won't use the mind and tools God gave them. Teach the children of God a balanced gospel about his love and, by the way, this is in capital letters, and wrath. Perhaps then they'll get out of the slumbering mood. We can blame all we want to, but nothing is happening that scripture is not telling us. Now, I want to dissect a little bit about this, okay? Shout out to Rosetta Williams who gave that one. I don't necessarily know if I agree with the whole idea of the fact that Christians just fall into stuff. I definitely believe that there is a desire for, I don't know what it is. I just feel like we're in a time where, and it's so funny because the prophetic word kept being justice, justice, justice. That's the word that has been given. And I truly do believe, well, at least I can speak for myself. As a Christian, you always want to see justice come to pass. You never want to see injustice happening. And I feel as though we're in a time right now where, as all of these things were being shown to us on media, which is another conversation to even have on its own, but seeing it come up on the media, etc., there's just this passion and this desire to stop even the cycles that have tormented a lot of people, and in this case specifically black people, for a very, very long time. Like, these are things that have happened in history and people don't want to see history repeating itself. So I don't think it's a case of people just necessarily being ignorant or dumb or like, oh yeah, they were just stupid and just follow the crowd. I think that a lot of people actually thought to themselves, okay, I want to truly believe that this is something that's in support of a community that have for too long not necessarily been treated the way that they should, or not even that, have not necessarily been given the, in fact, let me not, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, but look how many times Jews got enslaved and Jews were able to survive and Jews were able to do good and Jews, and we had this discussion earlier as well about Jews.
Yes.
And you said, and what did you say? You said that
the missing link between
Jews. Yes. So the conversation that we were having is the fact that the only difference between us and, let's say, Jews, for example, is the fact that the fathers are still present. Now, this whole conversation stresses me out because, number one, in fact, I'm not going to go into that. Let me know in the comments below for this video as to if you really want us to dive into that conversation. And I will bring Tommy on and we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation about fatherhood in the black community. But that's a whole video for itself on its own. People will drag you and me probably, actually. All right, we'll go for one more. Let's go for one more. Oh, I love that. There's a lot of people saying really, really nice things. Like people saying, I love watching Nissy and Tommy anyway, but I thought the discussions in this video were particularly important. Please carry on keeping us informed. God bless Rig Nation. So many lovely, lovely things. Thank you so much, by the way, for all the support and the love that you guys give us. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay, so final comment, and I think this is probably an interesting one. So Alexandra Tinidis, I'm so sorry that I butchered your name, says, with respect, please do not call George Bush Sr. or Jr. Christian. They were not. They belong to Skull and Bone Society. Never heard of that before. But they belong to Skull and Bone Society, who worship death, destruction, and war. He may have put on a mask to fool the public, but let's not forget that he began an unholy, devastating, destructive war in Iraq, based on a lie, supposed weapons of mass destruction that were never found. That man and his family are fools. Now, wait, would you consider them Christians? George Bush and his family.
I mean, he did a lot of crazy things. So, I mean, I don't want to go into the conspiracies because I have actually researched them.
Really?
But I don't want to go there.
Because I've never heard of Skull and Bones.
It's a secret sect of these. So I don't know. We shall know them by their fruit. That's all I can say.
You shall know them by their fruits. Now, I don't actually know about this whole skull and bone society thing, but I thought it was very interesting. I'm definitely going to dig deeper into that. And maybe that's something that I can bring up again next time for us to discuss. But anyway, that is it from me for today for Watchman News Extra. Thank you guys so much for leaving your comments below. It has been so much fun reading through them, getting to talk through some of the different topics and discussions as well, because that is what this is all about. Now, I must say, I'm literally reading these comments for the very, very first time. So that's why some of them caught me completely off guard. But I'm going to keep doing that if that is exactly what you want. So once again, underneath this video, please do leave your comments below and let us know if you enjoyed it as well, because we'll make sure we post more of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time in another video. Take care.